Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 29th, and we have some economic data coming out right now. Unemployment claims, 209,000, a little bit higher than expected, nothing earth-shattering. We've got, what else we have? Revised productivity, quarter over quarter, in line. I don't anticipate any of these numbers being too crazy. Trade balance, 56, a little over 56 billion versus 43, down 43 billion expected. We'll see how that's going to impact things a little bit. So, some interesting earnings calls yesterday. We can get right into those. You had Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. Tesla's numbers, they lost money the first time, I think, year over year. However, the stock rallied a little bit, but nothing to really make me, too excited about to go back towards the new highs just yet. Meta was all based on the earnings call from Zuckerberg. I think he was talking about some crazy capex for 2026, like $138 billion for capital expenditures towards AI. I think last year it was 78 billion, and now he's close to doubling it for 2026. Microsoft, they beat their earnings. I think they had, I want to say 70, what was it, $81.3 billion in earnings, but I think they overspent to get that revenue there. So that's why Microsoft is in the penalty box for the time being right now. So let's get into the broader markets here. Before, there's an interesting video on Tesla. I'm going to put in the chat here. Let's see here. This link here, it may get you there. And it's an interesting video on Tesla regarding the robotics. And I think that's one of the main reasons why Tesla rallied yesterday after the close. They're definitely shifting gears towards robotics. I think they even said they're going to close one of the plans for Model S and Model X for their automotive cars and gear that up towards Optimus, which is robotics, and what they were showing on the videos. Where they are right now with it is really quite incredible and actually kind of scary. So let's get into the broader markets here. By the way, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like this video by hitting that thumbs up button. And then also down in the description there, you can join our Discord community for live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time every day, Monday through Friday. That is going to, right now it's for free, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to do that for. However, come and take advantage while you still can. I go over Tesla options. It's all I trade, but I can't answer any other questions. So getting to the ES right now, pre-market yesterday, we had hit all-time highs up here at 7,043. I can mark that as new all-time highs. And we're kind of struggling a little bit right now. I would not be surprised that if we get some pullback once we get you have Apple reporting today. That's the last of the Mag 7 for this week. We have been getting some decent push, but nothing with a lot of fuel pushing us higher right now. So I would say I would still be careful on our longing into these levels up here. You have the all-time highs, 7,036.25. It comes right in line with this midline regressional trend line that I have drawn here. So I would expect if we do get a little push up here, you're going to get a little resistance right here, and then maybe a little pullback. If we look at where we're pretty far away from our SMAs. There's a 20-day SMA. So the market likes to pull back a little bit, before it goes higher. So I would not be disappointed with a little pullback before we move higher. So right now the market is pushing up here, but I would be careful on pushing up into these levels here. May get a little pop and pull back, in the morning. That's kind of my bias for today coming in. I would say if we lose the 7,014 level, you're going to come down to the 69.94 level, which is a monthly high set back in December of last year. And if you lose that monthly high, I think you're going to come down here to the 69.79.5 level. And if you lose that, I think you come down and you test this 20-day SMA sitting down at 69.62, 69 level. If you do push through this the previous all-time high at 7,036 and a quarter, you're going to go to that 7,043, which is set in pre-market yesterday. And if you do get through that, I think you're going to get through this level, up to this level of 7,090.01. And then if you can get through that, I think you can get pushed through this 7180.13. And I do think that to get that kind of push right now, I think we're going to need some kind of pullback to, really push us higher right now. So I would be careful on, little, morning pops right now and without, an aggressive pullback. So I'm a little weary on that right now, but I think the whole world is kind of waiting for a pullback. So that's another reason why, you think to yourself, well, if everybody's waiting for a pullback, that's why this thing can continue to move higher. Nice little stair-stepping higher on the NASDAQ, real nice. I think Microsoft is kind of, keeping it down here, but I think truly for today, you have Apple coming out after the close. I think you're going to find some balance after the close today with Apple. That'll be the last of the reports for this week. I knew yesterday with the FOMC that was going to be a non-factor with things. I think it was more about the earnings calls with the Mag 7 here. So you can see nice with regaining all these levels here on the 26 when we regained the 50, the 20, and then we kept pushing higher and stair-stepping into these highs here. You have the all-time highs sitting up there at 26,670. And then, so you do have some, I would say this 20, if you do get a little push here, right now, if we are below yesterday's close, I am not looking long. I would be looking for on the open a little pop, see how the market, what kind of price action you get up here, and then maybe fades down low here. But we are kind of caught in a little bit of a range here. Could be consolidating between December's highs, 26,123.5. If you do lose that level, I think that you could quickly, I would say if you lose this level down here, if you lose this 26,085.5 level, I think you're going to quickly come down to this midline regressional trend line at 26,002. And you're going to want to hold that level there. So I would not mind a pullback into this level right here. If you do get that pullback, I'd like this level to maybe take another long here. I do not want to see us lose that midline. And then if you can get that push, this 26,530 is a good November high. And then if you can get through that, then you go to the all-time highs of 26,670. And then above that, then you're in uncharted territories, and then we're going to have to reassess here. But a good pullback would be this 26,042. That's the first level right there. And then this next one is this regressional trend line, midline, 25,999.20. And then I think an ideal one would be the 25,936.5 if you do get that kind of a pullback there. So let's get into Tesla right now. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you can get future videos, and also hit that thumbs up button like this video. Tesla yesterday, let's pull Tesla over here. Tesla, was chopping around. I mean, look at this after the close, wick, kept selling up, down, and this is all earnings call related. Everybody's trying to digest these numbers. I mean, it's really tough to evaluate Tesla right now. It's trading at 150 times forward earnings, and it's all based on Optimus and robotics and the way that they can handle robotaxi. I think I read something that they're competing with Waymo and different technology, where Waymo, their cars, I think their cars cost $130,000, where Tesla, their expenditures on their cars are $30,000. So I mean, do those numbers there. If Tesla's expenses to get a robotaxi on the road is $30,000 versus $130,000, it's really a no-brainer. I think it's all about the technology, as Waymo uses different technology than Tesla. I think it's just all about the cameras. So anyways, that being said, that combined with Tesla's future with robotics, it's definitely shifting gears that way, and it's here to stay, robotics, based on what you're hearing and what you're seeing as far as them shifting some of their plants and making Optimus one of their main focal points going into next year. So as far as what I think on Tesla right now, what I'd like to see on the open, I'd like to see a little pop and fade on the open. I am not convinced we are moving higher just yet without any kind of pullback. We do have some levels. This is not an open point of control here. You could see these wicks that came down after the open, after the big pop, and we touched these levels. So that these point of control levels are not open. However, I do have this level here, you know, because we did pop low, but we did not low on the initial earnings call. And that came out, and it pretty much said that the numbers were missed again. And the first time year over year that Tesla did not make, I think their numbers were down first time year over year. But it did not quite close this open point of control that we have here at 423.78. So that level is still open. We also still have levels that are open up here at 455.09. And levels I'm speaking of are open point of controls. And then there's an open point of control open at 478.35. So those levels are going to remain open until the market comes back and touches those levels. So I am right now, my bias on Tesla, I am, you know, we are below the 20-day SMA and the 50-day SMA. Let's see where they're actually, if they're adjusted this morning. SMAs. Nope, they're pretty much right on target. So we're below the 50 or below the 20. So until we can regain those, I am not thinking long. Right now, my bias is pop and fades. However, we are at the 100-day SMA here, so it's in between a range. So we'll see if we get some support on the 100-day SMA. It's sitting at 435.75. If you lose that 435.75, we are going lower. And I think that if you lose that 435.75, and I think that you could potentially quickly get down here to this 423.78, even though you have, because these levels right here, these are not supporting levels at all. This is a huge speed zone right here that happened yesterday after the numbers came out. So I do not like that as far as support. This is all, these are not numbers that you can use for your levels. However, this level right here, I would say in the morning, if we, this 438.20 level is going to be an important level in the morning. If the market shoots below it and then we resist it, I would definitely be short under this 438.20. However, on the upside, if we hold it, that could be a good level to go long. But I am a little weary on actually the 20-day SMA just adjusted itself. So now we are below the 20-day SMA, but it's a lot lower than where we were now. So we're actually right here at this 438 level. So this is going to be the line in the sand right here, 439.73. If we open up and we open up above it, then I think we go higher. Where is that? 50. Yeah, so the 50 is still going to remain up. 50 is going to remain a little higher there. So I don't mind that either. So, it's going to be a tough call today. So this is the line in the sand right here for sure. This 439.86. You're going to have to get above that. So let me just mark that out. 439.86. So we can get right on target there. 439.86 is going to be that line in the sand there. If the market opens up above 439.86, you could think about taking a long into that 442.96 level. And then if the market does get some steam and you get above that 442.96 level, above the 50-day SMA, then you can push higher into the 449.50 level. Because the market did want to give you that in that post-market earnings call yesterday, but you could see how it rejected that January 9th high of 449.5. So we're still getting a lot of resistance up here, so that you have to respect those levels. So right now, I would say, anything, it's very choppy, so you're going to have to watch your position size and as far as what you're going to do, whether you're going to go long or short. But pay attention. If anything, when in doubt, just pay attention to your SMA levels. Here's your 20, here's your 50 right here. you can use those as a guideline. If you're below the 20 or below the 50, I would not be thinking long. If you are, if you do get above this 442.96, then you could potentially think long with your stops below each pertaining SMA level, right? So same thing on the downside. You could take your shorts with your stops above, right? And then you have, there's a lot of room on the downside, I think. So that's my bias going into today. But anything can change on Tesla. You really never know the direction it's going to go. But I'd like to see Tesla pull back, a lot lower before we shoot up and then make some new highs. Because right now, everything, it's not based on any fundamentals right now. It's all based on the come, on what they base everything on for the future right now. So let's get to the 5-minute opening range trade again. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. 5-minute opening range trade. I anticipate now that the earnings call is over that the IVs are going to come back down to normal. So I've got a 450 call up here that's going to expire tomorrow. I would anticipate that this is going to come down to probably $3 range on the open here. Where did we close yesterday? So we closed 431. We're about $7 higher. Even though we're about $7 higher, I still think that this premium price is going to be lower when it opens up because you're taking the IV out of the equation, and when you take the IV out of the equation, it deflates the premium price, right? So I think these are it's gonna come down to normal. The 420, I think I am going to change this right on the open. I'm going to change this to 425 puts. And those of you that are new, I trade options only, and I trade Tesla options, and I go over the basic strategies with it. But all my strike prices expire on Friday. So on Monday, I start out with a Friday expiration date. So all my Tesla options that I'm trading expire tomorrow, January 30th. And so as you get closer to expiration, your premium prices are going to get more volatile. So on Monday, they're less volatile, so they don't move. They're not as whippy as they are as you get closer to expiration date. So starting out, I'm going to have 450 calls, and I'm going to have my 425 puts up here to start the day. And that could change as the day moves on, right? So if you go over yesterday and we go over a 5-minute opening range trade, and what I do, I have a script on here which plots out the 5-minute opening range, this green bar here. It starts to generate, right? It's moving until it generates in the first 5 minutes. And then once the first 5 minutes is generated, then it stays here and it's stationary. And then you take a break when it breaks one direction or the other. So if it breaks on the upside, I'm buying calls. And if it breaks on the downside, I'm buying puts. So yesterday, the range on the first 5 minutes, what do we have for the volume here? We had about 1.4 million shares. Not great volume. Normally the volume's we've been getting close to 2 million shares in the first 5 minutes of the day, which has been good volume. So I would say that you have, yesterday we had the 431.20 to 434.46. So about a $3 opening range. You finally broke that range on the second 5 minutes of the day. And you could have gotten about $2 out of that. And then on the second 5 minutes, you really got a nice little push there. So you could have gotten about what do we get here? Where's the high? 34. Yeah, so you could have gotten about, I would say, about $3 or $4 out of that move there. The candle looks a lot bigger than it really was. But you had similar volume on the third 15 minutes as you did on the first 15 minutes of the day, which is not really common. It usually starts off like this, and then the volume kind of, tapers down. So, due to the fact that they had earnings yesterday, the volume was kind of sporadic. I expect, most of the time, your volume is going to look, it's going to look like this, right? If you go further back, you can see when the volume goes spikes in the morning, right? So here was 2 million shares, and then it goes and it works its way down at the first 5 minutes, right? So that's why we trade the first 5 minutes, because it kind of gives you a direction on where the market is going to go for the day, right? And then you trade in the first 5 minutes, and then if there's news that comes out, that spikes typically or usually the first 5 minutes of the day, and then the last 5 minutes of the day is where you're going to get your spike on volume. So anyways, that's what I'm going to use for today. Starting out the day, 450 calls on the for the long side, 425 puts on the downside. So again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel so you can get future videos, and hit that thumbs up button, like this video. Down in the description, you can find a link for the Discord community. Join the Discord community so you can join our live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time every morning, Monday through Friday, for free live trading. And the screen that you see right here is the screen that I share with everybody. And I go over my trades from my stops and my take profits to the why I'm taking the trade, and the psyche of it all. And I go over basic strategies with some other advanced strategies as well. So anyways, hope to see you in the room. If I don't see you in the trading room, I will see everybody tomorrow. Again, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, everybody.